BMX has really evolved in the last 28 years, which is how long I've been doing this. It's so much more professional. All the products are so much more high-tech.
Such a pretty girl, Andy, dressed in a vest for success. She's dressed to please.
Everyone raced in jeans and tennis shoes, or even some guys wore big, heavy, hiking boots to race in. Basically, it was pretty crude. Stu, or actually all his close friends call him Stuart, so I always call him Stuart. He was on the scene from the very earliest days, and from the time everyone saw him, he was just this big, imposing figure. He was 6'2", weighed about 200 pounds, and always had he was just built like a brick. But the strangest thing about him, he was the lightest guy on the bike. But by that I mean, his technique was so good, he never broke anything. He could run 28-spoke, straight-laced wheels in the front and aluminum rims, and he'd never bend a rim or break a spoke or have any problem with his bike. And when you watched him ride, he'd jump super high, but he would land as soft as a feather. He just had impeccable technique.
Old school is weird. I was out in the street just practicing, and I put my foot down to take around the corner, and I think it was Jason Carnes goes, "Oh, dude, old school turn." I'm like, "Dude, all I did is put my foot down." They're just used to riding these real smooth tracks where they're clipped in.
Courses were carved into the natural terrain, and the gearing that you would use in those days, particularly a track like Corona, guys would use 48 14s or 48 16s. The courses were so steep that acceleration was never a problem. Even pulling a big gear like that, you'd be up to speed almost instantly. It also made it really dangerous, because when you crashed, all of a sudden you're flailing around, at speeds you were riding, as if you were riding a motorcycle.
Such a pretty girl, Andy.
Half the tracks didn't have starting gates. They'd either just yell go, or there'd be a rubber band stretched across it, or they'd be two planks of wood hinged together and a guy holding a stick to drop the gate. And every gate was different. There were no lights. There was just a starter who yelled the commands and threw the gate down or let go of the rubber band to start the race.
Slow time to win slow time.
In the early days, there was a lot of pedaling, so it's just a different kind of deal, and to evolve with the changing of the tracks, I don't find them to be that difficult.
Back in the old days, it was just pure power. It was, man against machine, and we just went as fast as we could. Now there's so many jumps, it's really technique, a lot of finesse, but it's still a lot of fun.
I remember all the tracks from back in the day, and I still race the tracks of today, and they are much harder today. And it takes everything I have just to be able to keep up with today's technology as far as the racetracks go.
There wasn't a lot of money in it, and basically, you race for fun. It wasn't any less competitive then as it is today. In fact, it's just as competitive. It was just a different era.